I'm tracking the tropics. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake here with a look at our full Friday forecast. A lot to talk about weather-wise, so first things first, we're talking about our first official named storm of 2025, Tropical Storm Alvin. Sustained winds right now around 60 to 70 miles per hour. This storm system right off the coast of Guadalajara. It's going to make a beeline right up into the Baja, so expect to see some really strong waves. We're going to be looking at some precipitation there as well, and it's going to cross over some warm sea surface temperatures. However, by the time it makes it closer to landfall, I do think we'll have some really strong shear, which means this storm system, it's going to start to fall apart. And then by the time it tracks further and further to the north, sea surface temperatures start to lighten up. We like to see around 80s or higher. We're going to be running into those waters around 70s. So take a look here right behind this system. Another area we're going to be looking at here. It's going to follow in the direct path of Tropical Storm Alvin. So we'll be looking at the tropics heading into our weekend. Here's a look at Alvin's path. Most likely to make landfall right on the Baja Peninsula here, right around Sunday early in the morning. So I do think this is going to turn into a depression right before it hits landfall, and then low pressure system by the time it makes it directly on land. And what that means is things lighten up a little bit, but that low pressure system is going to funnel more moisture into our coverage zone. So we'll get to that in just a minute, but we're still talking about the heat today. So it's Friday. I've been talking about the heat all work week. Well, peak heating today, temperatures close to 80 in Santa Barbara, right on that 80-degree mark in Oxnard and Ventura, 90 in Santa Ynez, and interior areas advisory level heat. So you'll want to make sure to travel safely when heading out the door, avoid peak heating hours, and of course seek shade when possible. Heat advisory extended for Ventura, interior portions of Ventura County, and you can see all these areas color-coded in that peach. So this will drop off by 8 p.m., but keep in mind, I'm still looking at some of that lingering heat into Saturday. However, Saturday and Sunday look really interesting, not only because this low pressure system here, but of course that tropical storm that's going to ride up into the Baja. So here's a look at our future track radar. We're going to talk about our Saturday and Sunday. You can see here cloudy skies start to roll right back in. So you might be tempted to head to the beaches because of temperatures on Saturday. However, it's going to be a muggy and very sticky and humid day on tap. So we're picking up on a lot of activity as we head into Saturday afternoon. Take a look here. A lot of that activity mainly in Palm Springs through San Diego and southern communities. However, we're still at a 10% chance of showers. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a little bit of development over the Ventura County mountains, maybe even the Santa Barbara County mountains as well. A lot more activity as we head into Sunday. So 2 days of 10% chance of showers. If anything does manifest, very light amounts of rainfall, most likely into the hundredth of an inch or less. Heading into our Monday, a lot of that activity gets pushed further out into the east of us, and then you can see here first couple days of June, marine layer reappears and that May gray transitions to June gloom. Heading into our Monday afternoon, or Monday afternoon, we'll be seeing just some overcast skies out there, and temperature-wise, we're going to be cooling and cooling quickly. So a very dense forecast ahead of us, but what you need to know, Friday's our peak heating day. It's going to be sunny for each and every microclimate, 79 in Santa Barbara and each and every area about 10 to 15 degrees above average. We'll reach triple digits in Coyama, 90 in Santa Ynez, 88 in Los Alamos, and overnight lows will be relatively toasty for the interior areas. We'll drop into the 60s for those places in Paso Robles, and then you can see coastline back into the 70s, a few 80s out there. We'll sit at 86 in San Luis Obispo. Perfect beach day on tap, but heading into our Saturday, Sunday, expect a lot more humid conditions. Expect the chance for rainfall and overcast skies, and then temperatures dropping significantly into the first few days of June. Have a good one.